It's explaining
Bad with sport. They didn't start on time, so that was in middle.
compared to like telling us.
She told me, she goes, I'm gonna get it. I said, okay, actually, she'll have to do it 2 seconds.
Oh,
Comparative
Well, you know what, I can do this.
dollars.
it's all right.
That's year-to-year evaluation. Comparative dollars. Not on here.
We shall call the school board meeting of USD 49 to order. Approval of agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor vote yes.
Yes.
Yes. Seven oh.
Wait, I might need to, oh, I just assumed I was still connected, but I might need to like re-log in.
You were a yes.
There we go. Yeah. There we go.
7-0, thank you. No, there, Pat popped up. The mission of USD 49 is to provide a quality learning experience for every student in every classroom every day. To support the mission of the district, the USD 49 Board of Education includes supporting a vision that encompasses high student achievement, highly effective staff, effective and positive communications, and effective management of resources. Reorganization of the board is first on our agenda for tonight. President and vice president to be voted on. To be clear, election of board members will hold said position until January of 2026, as we have decided that we restructured the length of the duties, so the January upcoming officer team would finish that full year. So this will be a shortened term. Is that understandable? Okay. Last time at the board meeting, we asked the board members what they would, if and what they would be interested in serving as. And from my notes, it said that for the office of president, Megan was interested, Kurt was interested, and Ken was interested. The position of vice president, Megan, Kurt, Ken, and Jamie indicated they were interested. I would hope that we can approve both offices with a vote of 4 so that we'd have a majority. If we have to sift sort out a bottom candidate, then we will do so. That's okay? All righty. Nominations for president.
I make a motion and nominate Megan for board president.
Do we need seconds on this part?
That's correct.
All right, then I'll second that.
Okay.
I'd like to nominate Kurt Viner again.
Okay.
I think he's doing a good job.
I'll second.
Okay, hold on.
Very good, Jess.
Who made the motion?
The motion was
Derek?
Derek, and second was Jamie. And the other one was Ruth and Ken.
Okay.
Are we good?
Yep.
All right. Anybody else? Seeing nobody else, I shall call the nominees. So we will vote for Megan and Kurt for the office of president. All those in favor of Megan, say aye.
Aye.
So that Ken, Megan, and Ruth, correct?
Right.
Hold on. Sorry, I missed.
You're fine.
So,
I have Ken, Megan, and Ruth voted for Megan.
do you want me to send the votes out?
Nope, I'm writing it down. I'm just letting you know.
So, Ken, Ruth,
And Megan.
Megan. want the other ones counted as a no?
Well, I would assume they're no, because we're going to ask who's voting for Kurt. And whoever gets 4 is going to be the, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All those in favor for Kurt for president? Aye.
Aye.
So that would be Jamie, Derek, Kurt, and Alan, correct? Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So serving as president will be Kurt for a shortened term of 3 or 4 or 5 months in that category. Okay. The office of vice president, we will ask for nominations as well.
I nominate Ken Brooks for vice president.
I'll second.
I make a motion for Jamie to serve as vice president.
I'll second.
Any others? Okay. Nominations cease. Go ahead.
Hold on.
I have Ken.
Okay, the one that for Jamie, who made the motion?
For who? Jamie. I made the motion, and Derek seconded.
Okay.
Ken's motion was made by Megan, no, Jamie, I apologize, by Jamie, and seconded by Ruth. Okay, are we good?
Yep.
Okay, again, the candidate that receives 4 votes or more will be our vice president.
Were there any other nominations?
I didn't hear any, so I called nomination cease. Okay, we good? Okay, all those in favor of Ken, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, let's go down that line. Ken, were you an aye?
Aye.
Jamie?
Aye. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
Megan?
Yes.
Okay. Ruth?
Yes.
Okay, we are done. Okay, so Ken will serve as vice president. Are we good on that, Jess? All righty, moving down the line. 2.3, election of board clerk, keeper of records.
I make a motion to approve the appointment of Jess Reeling as board clerk and keeper of records for 25-26 and Renee Booth as deputy board clerk per KSA 728202C.
Thank you very much. Do I have a second?
Second it.
Alan has seconded. All those in favor vote yes.
Yes.
Passes 7-0. 2.4,
I would like to move to appoint Carla Fellholter as the BOE treasurer for 25-26 per KSA 72-8202D.
I second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor vote yes. Yes. All opposed, no. I guess I haven't been asking for no's. Hopefully, passes 7-0. Guess that would speed it up, huh? All right. Consent agenda. We okay? Oh,
Let me run through this real fast. Just as you know, there's lots on here. Board meeting minutes from our last meeting on June 16th. We also have Pays Rec Commission meeting minutes. You have some reports from ECC. I believe this might be Dawn's first report. First report, yes. And I think you also have a report from Donna in there as well. The homeless student liaison, that's just appointing Jess Reeling as the student liaison. You have personnel transactions, no retirements to approve or recognize tonight. You have Mr. Jeter's contract, no changes there from previous years. You also have action on appointing myself as the compliance coordinator on title funds, or title and anti-discrimination works. Public information officer is appointing myself. The Capers authorized rep, that is Amy Beckman as the representative, and Chris Heff and David Carlin as additional signers on that. Building principals are assigned for the compulsory school attendance to enforce that. Title I representative for our district is Shanna. The federal nutrition service representative is Jessica Yonker, who is our representative, and I would serve as the hearing officer for free and reduced application appeals. It's also naming Hayes Daily News as our official newspaper for the district. Also, you're also approving the 1,116-hour calendar for next year. Also, we're waiving GAP principles that we do every year. The activity fund resolution, that's just guidelines for activity funds, and as well as following the resolution establishing the limits for how much we can have in those petty cash. Just also in a consent action tonight, you'll be naming all our banking, Emprise, Commerce, Equity Bank, Astor Bank, Golden Belt Bank, Bank of Hayes, Sunflower Bank, the state treasurer, and the First Kansas Bank as depositories. We also have a resolution to allow for destruction of records that have met the limit of age. We're destroying those. We're setting the annual records fee for those who request records to 25 cents a page. That is the same as we've had in the past. Freedom of Information Officer is Jess Reeling. Signature card approval, that's just as the board president, now that the president and vice president have been determined, just to sign for the district as for the board. Foster care liaison is Jess Reeling. District auditor is Adams Brown. We also have a contract with Heart Springs for a student that will need to be approved. We'll also have a resolution to adopt our LOB percentage at 32.3%. And you also have some board committee appointments. And then financials, I don't know, you want to go over?
A couple things in the financials. The first would be bond project tracking is updated with all bills in now for Roosevelt. I know there'll be some additional updates that aren't reflected on the GMP that's coming to you tonight, but updates there. Also, at the June meeting, you approved final end of year transfers. So I want to kind of go through a little bit so you have in that sheet, you pull that up. Yep. No, sorry. The transfer end of year. There you go. There we go. So in the middle column is the budgeted transfers, and these are, so all of our revenue comes in.
I don't have glasses.
If we even try to look at that.
One more time. All right, there we go. I got a chance. Good.
So these are all our operating funds. So all of our revenue comes into general fund or LOB, which is supplemental general fund. Those mean the same thing. We budget transfers at the beginning of the year based on anticipated expenditures in each fund, but then at the end of the year, we make our final transfers to zero out general and LOB. So on the right are what the actual transfers were based on funds on hand. Really no significant changes from what was budgeted. If you slide down to page 2, this is probably more of the meat of the matter. So at the end of the year, as we're transferring funds, anything in the special funds becomes our cash balance. So the first set of lines is total expenditures for general fund and LOB to get, and that includes all of our transfers. So that's all the resources coming in for operations within the district. If you look into that second set of, second set of lines or the second set of funds, that second box, this is the cash balances over 3 years for those operating funds. You can look individually, no one is really any more important than the other, but if you look at the total operating cash carryover, you can see that we ended the year, or will end the year, at about 8.3% of those total expenditures from general and LOB. We're about 8.3% in cash on hand at the end of the year in those operating funds. General rule of thumb, there's no rule, and it's more of a comfort level of the board, but typically you will hear municipalities run somewhere in the neighborhood of about 15% in carryover. We're comfortable. We were at 10% last year. 8% is comfortable enough right now. It's enough cash on hand to where we don't run into issues with cash flow, with payroll times and things like that. But I will tell you that it's probably more important to notice that it is going down. It went down from prior year, and as we're building the budget, it will, based on projected state aid for special ed and potential changes in federal funding, some of the other changes that are happening with weightings, with no PD funding and mentor funding, things like that. The cash balance is set to go down again next year. So that's probably the biggest takeaway from the end of year transfers. Then the bottom set of funds, those are special funds. So like capital outlay, that's that 8 mils that goes directly to anything in equipment or facilities, things like that. So we track those separately because they're not necessarily considered operational funds. They're for special purposes. So, any questions or?
Yeah, just real quick, Chris, to clarify, when you say next year, you're talking, you don't necessarily mean 26. You're
Right.
talking
In
now.
FY26, yeah, so this was wrapping up FY25, which is the 24-25 school year that just ended. July is the beginning of our fiscal year. So in FY26, the 25-26 school year that we are starting right now, I anticipate our cash balance will be lower again at the end of this year.
Okay, at the end of the school year.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Chris, when you said 15% carryover, 15%
Of that, like when you add the LOB and the general fund together,
those two funds?
right, yeah,
not
those
the
two
whole
together,
budget.
we're sitting at we historically are running between 7 and 10%.
And
You will hear oftentimes that around 15% is what most municipalities need in cash carryover. We've operated fine with 10%. That's fine.
Okay, so
Even
you're
at
saying-
8%, we don't run, like last year, we ended the year in FY24, we ended the year at about 10%. This year, we ended 8.3. We still don't get in a cash crunch when we have 8% in that carryover. We can still make payrolls based on timing of state aid and things like that. We're okay. So it's not a the amount of cash that we have on hand right now is not a red flag, it is not a problem. But it is always worth noting when that number goes down, because that can become a trend, and then if you get too low, then you start running into the cash on hand problems.
So you said cities would usually do 15. What about districts?
Yeah, so any municipality.
Including districts.
Yeah. If you look, again, if you when you talk to the KSDE or anyone like that, they're going to tell you it's whatever the district is comfortable with, whatever you need in cash on hand to be able to withstand late payments from the federal government if that happens, or cuts in state aid, or just making payroll based on when we receive state aid. It's whatever you need to operate. Generally speaking, if they say, well, what should it be? The answer is usually going to be around 15%.
So what do you think it will be? Will it be 10 or 7? Because how much is this
Variables
total?
right now, I'll be able to tell you more in another
Okay.
30 days when we're sitting down for
Enrollment.
retreat, we're getting a little deeper into the budget. I'll have a little better guess, but there's things out there like we'll talk about federal funding that we don't know if we're going to get or not. We'll see less in certain weightings because we won't get PD state aid this year. So it's going to be how much PD do we need to do professional development. So it's a little bit of a guess. What I'm saying is we've got enough cash to withstand any of those things right now.
So at 10% is how much?
$3,045,693.
Thank you.
I guess my concern with the LOB, like in the handouts you had, where we're at 51, 52 mills, which is on the lower end of the whatever 10 schools that you provided. But if
So
you,
that's in the R&R rate you're talking?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that would be the next set of, that'll be maybe a little bit later on. That isn't necessarily tied, I mean, they're all tied together.
well, we're talking about passing something related to LB. Well, isn't it part
No,
of the
right now, I'm just giving you an
They're
update.
just telling you what-
Of where our cash balance is.
I'm sorry, I thought we were at 3.26. On the consent agenda is passing of the LOB, which I
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking revenue neutral rate. Okay, yeah.
So, well, I mean, to some extent, I guess,
They are definitely all tied together.
tied together to some extent.
Yeah.
But, I mean, although our mill rate is on the lower end, we're taxing higher than anybody else. Like, our total assessed valuation per student is 130 million. The next closest is 90 million. So, although the mill rate is lower, we're spending $6,700 per pupil, and the next closest is 58. So, the mill is not the whole story as far as what the actual value, the number value is.
Correct.
That on top of, we're still charging very high for the capital outlay. I mean, we are taxing people, I think, kind of beyond their means, for the folks on fixed income, some of the college students that their rents are going up. And I think we got to be cognizant of the fact that even though it looks okay when you look at the mill rate number, the total number is a lot bigger. We're paying out, we're taxing our residents of USD 49 more than the other districts.
Okay. So the resolution is to be able to set the percentage, and that would be the max percentage. So you have two options. You can approve as a taxing entity, you can approve to go to the voters and ask to go to 33%, or you can decide that your cap is the state average and you can't go above the state average. That's what the resolution in consent agenda is to say we're choosing to choose the state average as our cap for
But you could go lower than that too.
Absolutely, you could, yes.
Good, but we also need to make sure that we remember that personal property tax, we will not get those funding for that in '26 as well. So that goes away, which in hours that the district gets is approximately $150,000 just to personal property. That's campers, boats, things like that we will no longer get in our district. So those things need to be recognized that those will go away as well, that we get distributed.
So I think that we don't have a money problem, we have a spending problem. At the end of the day is what I come away with, that we are spending more, and I've never heard, hey, we're doing great. It's always like, oh man, right around the corner, it's gonna be hard times, we gotta keep taxing. I mean, I think that we need to do a better job.
Okay, again, the resolution would just be to choose, do you want to ask the voters to go to 33%, or do you want to operate with the state average 32 point, whatever, or 30, whatever the number is?
32.3.
32.3, thank you. Whether you want to operate at 32.3 as your cap.
Understood, but you could say no to the 32.3 and then come back with another motion to come in at lower.
Yeah, but again, you're not approving the mill levy at this point.
Oh, it's just
You're approving the ability to either ask to go
I
to
see what you're
33
saying.
or to use 32.3
That's for
as
30.
your cap.
Okay, gotcha. So we're setting the cap now, but the actual,
Right.
thank you for explaining that.
Yep.
We're not setting, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Viner, I would like to pull 3.6, 3.25.
Okay, whoa. Can you start at the top, Mr. Park, please?
I did 3.6 on the list anyways.
Okay, 3.6. Thank you, sir. Okay.
3.25,
3.25.
Which we'll need to go to executive session for.
Which one, Mr. Wilson?
Contract with Hard Spring. We can't do that in open
Okay.
session.
3.25. Okay.
and 3.26.
Wait, should we pull that yet since we haven't finished going through everything? Like, we haven't talked about.
We can, we'll let him pull those. We'll have we'll continue discussion. We'll see if there's any more pulled, but he's gonna pull those. Do you have those, Jess?
No.
Okay. 3.6.
I'm getting there. It's there. Okay, so board attorney contract, what was the one?
To be moved is 3.26.
The LOB.
About 3.25.
Yeah.
No, I thought L2, was 2.5 the,
He pulled 3.5.
which one has to be exact, though?
Contract with Hard Spring
3.25.
and
Yeah, 3.25 has to be an exec meeting. So 3.26 needs to be moved down on our agenda. Why she's doing that. Mr. Wilson?
Yeah.
So the only thing that we need to do is go through the committees before we move out of there?
Yeah, unless they're not pulled.
I understand that, but if if nothing else gets pulled, that doesn't get pulled, and
Yeah, what's in.
what it is? Okay, thank you. Okay. Do you want to discuss anything? Do you have anything else, Ruth, Megan? Jamie, are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. Are you doing okay, Jess?
Yeah, it just won't let me drag, so sorry.
You're doing great.
Have I mentioned I don't like this software?
We support you. Great.
And the 800 number that you might need to call.
Okay, we got it.
You're good? Thank you, Jess. All right, next, anybody else on the consent agenda?
Do we need to refresh?
I don't think
How do you,
I don't think it does anything if we do.
okay. So is there a motion to approve consent agenda with 3.6, 3.26 removed and added to our agenda, and 3.25 moved to executive session?
I make that motion.
Thank you.
A second.
And it's been seconded. Any other discussion? Seeing no other discussion,
So there's no discussion about the committees, or is that?
Oh,
no, they're going to be as is they were last year,
Yeah.
unless you want to.
No.
Okay. All right, all those in favor, vote yes.
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 Yes, all those opposed, vote no.
Alan, how do you vote?
Are you a yes?
Yes, it didn't pop up on mine.
That's 7?
7.
Passes 7-0. Public forum is next. Anybody interested in addressing the board? Okay, let me read then. All these. Okay. The board requests that all members of the public respect the rules outlined below so that everyone that wants an opportunity to provide input will be given the chance. Speakers are asked to start with stating name and address, where they reside. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes to make their presentations. Speakers are asked to make only points that have not previously been made, except to ask clarifying questions. Board members shall not interact with speakers at the open forum. Board asks that all members of the public respect these rules so that everyone that wants an opportunity to provide input that has not already been given will have the chance. Thank you.
So I'm Becky Hill, I'm from Hayes. I just wanted to mention that before time gets too far away from last meeting, that $38,000 for Nabholz, they did the work in good faith, and I feel like it was dishonoring, but I don't hold the board for that at all. There's one who said he's over everything, and there should have been a meeting prior to, that you guys should know these things, not after it's done and they've already put the money out. So I don't know if you're following what I'm saying, but I'm just saying that was not very honorable. But again, I don't hold that against the board. I hold that against the one who said he had everything under control himself. But I'll tell you what, the superintendent has a whole lot on his plate, and especially when you're moving big facilities too. So I understand that it's enough to do the job when you don't have all these things happening, but then to throw that on top of it, it's too much. And so, yes, it would have been nice if we could have had the supervisor person position way back when, where that would have been his only job, was to keep track of the money, keep track of the bond, keep track of these things. So they wouldn't have had to put it together at their own cost. They would have had the permission because it would have been in the meeting prior to it needing to be done. Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Thank you. Is there anybody else? Okay. Next is 5, communications and reports. 5.1, district communications, Ron Wilson, superintendent.
Yeah, just talk a little bit bond. We actually started today moving contents into the new building. Kudos to our high school administration and the high school staff for all the work they had done prior to school getting out, to getting everything organized, labeled, color-coded, you name it, they had done it. Our custodial crew has been working on organizing all those boxes. They did a great job of getting them on pallets and wrapping them. They actually worked yesterday to move everything over to the school, and then today, kudos to our high school football team as they were the worker ants, and it was like an ant farm today. All of them taking one box at a time and just line after line and making loops, and then about 3 hours. We got about half of the classrooms loaded with contents today, so it was a good start. We'll reorganize and do this. Might be a few days before we get going again, but kudos to a lot of people for doing a lot of hard work. We also started getting furniture in today, and furniture is being installed in the building as well. In the areas that we don't have a time, when I say we're moving contents, we have temporary occupancy, meaning the state fire marshal has given us the ability to move contents in, not necessarily people yet, but that's a good start, and we'll continue to move towards getting more of that done. We also have set Hayes High ribbon cutting for August 29th. That's official. I believe it'll start at 5 p.m., and this will all be prior to the Maroon and Gold scrimmage. It'll be a big night and a fun night. We'll have a quick little ceremony and then cut the ribbon and allow people to, when they're not watching the Maroon and Gold scrimmage, to go in and look around the building. O'Laughlin, still a lot of work being done on O'Laughlin. They pretty much are putting everything back that they've been doing, had tore out, and so it's coming together nicely. A lot of painting, a lot of renovations, as well as some of the new areas. Just some of the foundations they're working on that, so a lot of work there. Hayes Middle School, we've already started talking as we're doing this move for Hayes High. We've been working on plans for Hayes Middle, and it looks like we have kind of a tentative schedule in terms of how we'll attack that a little bit. We're learning as well from the move that we're doing now, but you have kind of a tentative schedule what Hayes Middle is planning and the days that we'll be kind of taking off from school as to get that ready. Federal funding freeze, I know we've heard, many of you have heard about that. On June 30th, President decided that not to release the funds for our title funds, which means that they were to be released on July 1st. And so basically just to kind of, this is what I'm understanding, because these funds have already been approved, they've already been approved to be distributed. Now we're on a 45-day clock. If the Congress doesn't take any action to rescind the funds, after 45 days, the funds should come to us. So I think at this point where what we're looking at is just not overreacting and hoping that those 45 days will pass and we will receive that funding that we normally would have received the 1st of July. We might be receiving it sometime in August. So if that is not the case, and this is some funds Chris put this together for you to look at. It's about $172,000 that our district would not receive in federal funding for some title funds that we receive every year. Some of that is for migrant funds. That is for students who come to our district who are farm, seasonal agricultural workers. We receive funding to help them in their education. There's also some funds that are classroom reduction funds, some professional development funds that we also receive from the federal. That one is probably as difficult because if you remember, the state took away all our professional development funds as well for teachers. And so we wouldn't be receiving that at the federal level as well. So those are always funds that allow us to do some things in helping work with our teachers. So like I said, don't want to overreact, but that's something that we'll have to consider. I have also included my superintendent goals just to share with the board as part of the July meeting. Also, I want the board to consider, or well, we really need to do this. I'd like to schedule a special meeting for next Thursday. Not next Thursday, a week from Thursday, July 24th. If we could, we have some change orders for Laughlin and Hayes High that we need to get taken care of. But we don't have all the pricing, so I can't take care of it tonight, I'm sorry.
What time?
Well, we could do 6:30 as normal.
I'm going to Missouri on vacation.
I won't be available.
I will not either.
Okay. When are you guys? The following week?
I'll be gone that whole week, that following week.
What about the 23rd?
I'm good 23rd.
I could do daytime the 23rd.
23rd? That one?
I have meetings all day, but some
Okay.
mobile.
What's that?
I have meetings all day already scheduled, but I could move
I'm not available.
one or two of them,
Okay.
I guess.
23rd, how about 22nd? Is that doable, or I'm not speaking out of
I'm
turn.
just looking at them. Yeah.
Could do
Or
the-
is that what the 21st? You're here on the 21st. Yeah. It'll be cut a little bit most of it. So 22nd is probably better.
22nd? Anybody object to 22nd?
If we do it in the morning, I can do
So
it.
you're gonna do it in
Because
the
I have to
morning?
leave.
I'll be in Colby in the afternoon too.
We could do it in the morning.
What time? Whoa.
For the 21st, I can do
I'll
the
be
21st.
work at 6 in the morning.
So You're at work?
Yeah, I'm working 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Back to the 21st, is it available?
Can we do 21st in the evening?
21st in the evening.
21st in the evening.
He just said that's going to be cut in half. Yeah, we'll push to get it. Okay.
6:30?
Yeah.
We good with that, gang?
Yeah.
All right.
Jess will send out a reminder. And then Chris has some information on the R&R.
So, information only, information only this time, there's no vote. Again, you're not setting any of these rates right now, but I wanted to be able to talk through the revenue neutral rate, the statute, and the timeline that goes with that. So, with the revenue neutral rate, with the addition of that hearing at budget time, so when you work that backwards, basically we get what is the revenue neutral mill rate and tax amount now from the county clerk on June 15th. By June 20th, we need to be able to certify to the county clerk what our projected, what the budgeted mill rates would be based on budget preparation. What that does is it's much like the LOB resolution. It establishes what the top is, right? So we go in and we say, okay, based on state average, because we're not a 33% district, our resolution basically has to be state average at this point in time. So when I build a budget off of that state average, then we put together, okay, these are what the highest mill rates would be, and we certify that to the county by the 20th of July. They then notify every patron within the entity, within the taxing entity, so within the district, they'll get the revenue neutral rate mailing, and it will include every taxing entity that applies to them. So, for it to be the rec in the district, in the city, and any of those others. So they'll have that. Then September 8th is when we schedule budget and revenue neutral rate hearings. So for our September 8th meeting, at that point in time, that's when you would have the hearing and adopt the actual rates. So right now, I'm just presenting to you what went to the clerk as the cap for what the mill rates and the tax levy would be. So that, the first handout is actually what goes to the clerk. Then if you slide to the second handout, that, we've used that over the last couple of years to kind of give some perspective to what does that actually mean? Because mill rate is one thing, but the property valuation and the actual taxes that get levied are, I mean, it's all one big math problem, right? So if you look at that, the top, yeah, stay right there. So in the gray boxes at the top, we've done this over the last few years, so you can see if you start on the far right, that's what our mill levy was in FY23. So if we have an assumption of a $200,000 home in FY23 in that yellow box, you can see from year to year what the county valuation has done. And so in FY23, a $200,000 home, now not every home is 200,000, but this is so just using the county's average, the total valuation increase. So you can expect that home to be around $239,000 in valuation now. On the far right, in FY23, you would have paid a total of $1,113 in levy for all of the funds. The general fund, remember, that's 20 mills that statutorily is assessed by the state. It goes to Topeka and comes back to us in the form of state aid based on FTE. It used to come back to us in things like equalized capital outlay, which we won't actually get any this year. So we lose state aid in that. It comes back as equalized LOB aid, which ours reduced again this year. All of those different weightings. So all that stuff goes to Topeka and comes back based on different weightings here. The local or the all other funds are the ones that we control and come directly to the district. So you can see in FY26 with these mill rates, it would be a $181 increase from FY23. Year over year, it'd be $36 increase from based on the projected mill levy there. If you scroll down, subtract. This is FY25 mill rates with our projected FY26 mill levy, right? So every year you can see we're sitting right at about the state average, but remember that's FY25's state average. More and more districts have gone to 33% on their LOB, and so the average creeps up a little bit. This year's 32.3. I think last year was 32 even. Year before that it was 31.7 or 8, something like that. So it creeps up a little bit because more and more districts have gone to 33% on their LOB. So, but this is where we sit based on FY25 state average and some similar sized districts, and what we're proposing as an FY26 or what we're projecting as an FY26 mill levy. And then if you go down to the second page, we started doing this one last year to actually look at, okay, how many dollars does that mean year over year? So again, just another way to look at it, if we look at year over year, what a $200,000 home would be if it went up 1.4% in valuation as the county did. Supplemental general, what it does, so it would levy an additional $286,000 in supplemental general levy. As I mentioned, though, our equalized state aid. So from that 20 mills that goes to Topeka, a year ago, we received $2 million in equalized state aid on that LOB. This year, we'll receive $193,000 less. So we've lost a little bit of revenue into LOB there. And then just some of the things that LOB and the operating funds go towards, the wages and the raises, things like that, insurance costs, things like that. The next box is capital outlay. Similar story in what was actually levied in FY25 versus what would be levied based on these mill rates in FY26. Again, so 2 years ago we received about $250,000 in equalized capital outlay state aid. That dropped to $106 last year. and will drop to 0 in FY26. So this year, we won't receive any state aid on our capital outlay. And then I just threw in a few things that are paid for with capital outlay. Bond and interest is the bright spot. The sales tax revenue continues to come in strong, able to bring that mill levy down a little bit. It still increases the total tax levy by $21,000, but remember the cash value, or the cash carryover in bond and interest can eventually be used to continue to lower the mill rate or pay bond off early, things like that. Once you get enough of a cash balance to be able to make sure that you have the cash flow to make payments on the 2 times a year when we're making payments. And so increased cash balance there is good for long-term health of either mill rate or paying off early.
So, Chris, just to reiterate, so special ed funding at $180,000 that we would lose, that's almost equivalent to half of the mill already.
Yeah, that's not special ed on the LOB. If you go up, or you're talking about the LOB.
Yeah.
Yeah. So down just to the first going right there. Okay. So the mill rate as it's set right now, based on county valuation, would increase the levy by $286,000. However, we're going to lose $193,000 in state aid for LOB, and that's a calculation based on basically based on our county evaluation, our student population, everything else. We're losing $193,000 in equalized state aid for LOB. Special ed is a whole other pot, and that's one of the things where we had a huge increase in our district assessment, so the local money we need to be able to fund the special ed co-op, and that's because sped aid, it will be down again this year.
So which those combined together could be equivalent to 1 mill.
Yes.
So I know we talked about the sales tax, the 10.5% or whatever. That doesn't count for very much, but it goes into the capital outlay fund. Is that correct?
No. Well, we started based on the conversations at the board table. The sales tax cash balance, it equated to about $12,000, I think, this year in additional revenue into the bond and interest fund, which again could be used to mitigate mill levy down the road or to pay off bond early.
So that went into the bond funds? I'm sorry.
Bond and interest fund. Yeah, not project. The bond and interest fund, which is the fund used to repay the loan.
Understood. Is it stuck there at this point? Not that I'm advocating for it, but like if we got in a real tough bind, it's only $12,000, but can you pull it out of there too?
I can't take out what's in there, but we could stop putting that revenue in there, yes.
Divert.
We could stop putting that interest into and put it into capital outlay. That's pretty common to put all interest into capital outlay because it's easiest. Once it's in a special fund, you can't take it out. It has to be there, so that 12 is there to stay. But you could decide, now let's go back to putting that into capital outlay.
And the same could be done off the 20 million projected for the other part of the bond, like the interest and investments that we're making out there. If we were really tight, instead of putting it into the bond, you could pull it over into LOB or some other fund to keep us going.
I don't believe so. It could go into something like the bond and interest fund, I believe, but you couldn't use it for any other special fund.
So the interest off the sales tax is more maneuverable than the interest or investments made off the.
Yes. Yeah.
But we also promised that half-cent sales tax was going to be used for the bond.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, that's what we went to.
The sales tax can't
Right.
really be. What we're talking about is the
Correct.
interest on the.
Right, I understand.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Chris, what was sent to the county on the 15th of June? Can you
So the
explain
county
that again?
sends us what the revenue neutral rate would be. So they set that rate based on actual taxes received prior year for the entire district, so that includes a little bit of Rush County too.
So we don't respond to them at all until
No,
the 15th of July?
So what I gave you here is what I used to respond to them to say, okay, this sets the cap for what our mills would be.
And that's by July 15th?
No, that's by the 20th.
Oh, the 20th, okay.
Right.
So, does that need board action?
No, because it's setting the cap. It's not adopting anything. It's saying this is the most that it could be.
So, but if you send it to the county clerk,
Uh-huh.
they're assuming that we're going to do the revenue neutral. Are they going to put it in to send it out? Because they have to have information to send
Right.
out.
Right.
So does
Yeah,
that say
send it
that
out.
we're going to do that, or how does that work, I guess?
We're saying that based on this budget, and because the county valuation went up and the total taxes levied then would go up, that we would potentially exceed the revenue neutral rate, so that has to be sent out to every patron. Yes.
That we potentially will, not that we will or we will not.
Right, you don't set that until we do budget hearing.
Right.
Now, we've talked about it a lot of times. Those things are determined throughout the year with the purchases we make and through negotiations and all of those things. So the work is done, and now it's kind of reporting back based on that work.
And 1 penny exceeds revenue neutral.
Say again?
1 penny exceeds
Yeah, I mean,
revenue.
that's the thing is, there's no, every time the valuation goes up, you've exceeded it. It's never gonna, I mean, you're always exceeding it.
Yeah.
Because once the valuation goes above last year, you've exceeded it. It's not earth-shattering by any means.
Okay. Thank you. We good? All right. Next is 6, action and discussion items. 6.1 is the Hayes Middle School renovations GMP.
Dylan and Brett are here. And then she has a presentation.
You want me to-
Yeah.
Is it,
Oh, well, I mean, they have it. You guys all have it.
You guys are there like normal.
I can take it off and you guys can do it.
Which one am I clicking on? Do I got 2?
Instead of the same sign.
GMP renovations.
It's the renovation.
I don't need to read the letter, do I?
I mean, if you want to. I did.
I'll be asleep. I'm just trying to follow along.
Perfect. We've got Scott here. We're good to go. There it is. There we are. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dylan Weddle, project manager with Naples. We've got Brett Collins, project executive. We have the Hayes Middle School guaranteed maximum price to review with you tonight. Quick scope overview, just as a reminder, this is the overall plan view for the current high school that'll be your middle school. The classrooms shown in yellow on here are being right-sized, so for the majority of those classrooms, they're going from 3 classrooms to 2 larger classrooms, better for a middle school setting, and then a small collab area in between. And that includes everything in those: electrical, AV, rerouting mechanical, rerouting plumbing, anything necessary to change those classrooms over. The areas shaded in green are all of your corridors. Those corridors are getting lockers painted and they're getting new flooring put down throughout all of those corridors. Several of the mechanical units are in the corridor feeding those classrooms, so there will be some ceiling replacement as well, just for that mechanical work going into the classrooms. And then the little dots that you see on the outside edge of the building there are a replacement of the exterior storefront. So it'll just be a one-for-one replacement, same spot that it's in currently, just putting a new storefront in there that you don't have to worry about leaks or anything. It'll get new access control to match the rest of the building. So part of our bid process, this should look pretty similar to the last couple of projects. We invited over 2,000 companies to bid on this project. 306 companies opened up, looked at it. made a decision on if they were going to bid or not. 67 confirmed that they were bidding, and we received 49 bids total, which is a pretty good turnout for this size of a project. We had a total of 15 packages with 3.26 bidders per package, so our goal is always to have 3, and we hit that and exceeded it. And then 37% of the selected contractors are local Hayes contractors. So, and that's based on the overall value, not the number of contractors. So it's not a bunch of small contracts, that's the overall value of the project. So we're pretty proud of that. That's, I think, the highest one that we've had out of all the projects we've done here. This is the overall bond budget that we presented at the last board meeting. In the upper right-hand corner, I know it's kind of small, but if you can see it there, what we were carrying for Hayes Middle School under the construction at the top right was $2.25 million. And the overall for the Hayes Middle School project, if you look at the bottom right, second from the left, we had $6.47 million. The next slide is where the GMP landed at. So at the top right, you can see the GMP or the guaranteed maximum price that we're looking at tonight, which is 1.92. So we're a little bit over $300,000 under the budget that we presented at the last board meeting. And that's all we have. Be happy to answer any questions you might have, though.
How many total classrooms are you going to have at the end of this project?
I believe it's 7 or 8 are changing areas.
Okay, I mean like how many total classrooms are going to be usable for students in the building at the end of this project? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense, but I'm sorry, I don't have that answer for you.
Do you know? How many total usable classrooms will you have at the end of this project?
What's current, I gotta remember, one question. One commons area would be 2, 3 would be over by cafeteria. And then we're putting one in on we're gonna make a locker room, like gyms.
No, not bathrooms, classrooms.
Total classrooms?
Classrooms.
So there we're doing 17 to make 12, and we're currently working on, Russell Screws, we're doing 16 at the moment.
Okay.
We add a couple more, just depends on time.
Is that like the only thing that's been, like I know we're getting more space. I just want to make sure that we still have enough, like, is that enough for your staff? Is that enough for your students?
Absolutely, great.
Good.
Awesome.
Okay, thanks.
More space and better than we could have at all.
Excellent. That's all I have.
Do we have any intentions for the $300,000 difference?
Well, it will remain in our bond funds, and we'll, we have, like I said, we have some change orders coming up. Those are things that can be, just overall, we'll stay in our bond funds. So how that's decided.
So, okay. So if it's at the end, we may not, if we don't need to spend it, then it's money not used?
Well, just to understand, that's what they estimated.
I understand, yeah.
So it was.
But that's a savings of $300,000 that we're not spending.
So right now, technically, it'll just go back into that bottom right box, the unencumbered or unallocated amount for you to use on future projects.
On the bond?
Right, yeah, it can still only be
Okay.
on.
If we don't use it on the bond, does it reduce the bond debt?
You could take balance and use it to.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll confirm that.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You can.
All right. Okay.
At the end.
Anybody else have any questions?
I guess the district managed projects, the 3.7 million, that came in like a couple months ago. I noticed that it was on the list here. Is that for our maintenance folks to do work or what?
That's the HVAC replacement that was completed last summer.
Okay, that's prior stuff that's already done. Gotcha.
We're just tracking it because it was bond funds.
It just got my eye. I might not have seen it there before.
Can you explain what the store, you're redoing the entrances, all those except the main entrance, which was done recently. So what are you doing? Just totally removing them, or just changing the doors out? What's the,
It's a one-for-one replacement, so all of the storefront framing around the outside of it,
All the
and
glass,
the
all that
doors, the
stuff is
glass,
coming out?
everything will come out, and a new one will be put in place.
what do you do with the? Do you surplus that, or what do you do with the stuff that you take out? Is it just destroyed?
Yes.
Most of that out, rusted out, so it would be worth.
The frames, probably. We have any other questions?
What happens if something big comes up, like big, and it puts a dent in the timeline? Since this is like a very short timeline?
I mean, those are things it's just always adjusting and adapting to what is in front of us.
Do we have any like contingencies in place for that?
Well, I mean, the good news is the middle school's in a building right now, so
Right.
they would remain in their building. I mean, I don't want to get into a bunch of what ifs, but yeah, they have spots, so it's.
I guess the question I should be asking is, do we have time contingencies built in a little bit?
Yes. So, I mean, obviously, we can't foresee everything that could pop up, but we do build a little bit of time into each one of our schedules to make sure that if anything pops up like that we can take care of it. And things will. They always do.
And I will say, y'all stayed ahead of schedule for every project so far. Am I right on that?
And we're not behind schedule, right?
Absolutely not. We're ahead.
Just checking.
Okay.
Because technically, we weren't even supposed to be able to get in there until August 13th, and we were in there today, so
Well,
there you go.
look at that.
There you go. Anybody have any other questions?
So all the, I'm looking at the blueprint, all the colored rooms and hallways is what's being touched. Everything that's not white is not being touched by you?
Correct.
That's part of this. But some of it will be through local. And what is that? I mean, how much is that? How many rooms? Is selected?
14 to 16.
14 to 16 rooms will get carpet and paint type of thing?
They're already inked. It's in great shape right now. And they made it bigger. Marker boards, if they were able to be salvaged and reconditioned, we keep them. If some of them are glued on the wall, they pull out chunks of wall, so they can't. But yeah, they chisel out the jagged room that's currently there. When we make our dead room, they chisel out all the cement. It's going to be one of the biggest rooms we have. And so we're on track. We're making big progress. We can shut out the Rustin's crew. Scott will go with us, and we're going to start looking at how we put the monitors in the rooms. Really go, and as they complete a room, we're going to try to put marker boards up, and then this will come in and do the flooring, and we'll have them knocked out.
Awesome.
Mr. President, oh, sorry.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement between Hayes USD 489 and Naples Construction that establishes a guaranteed maximum price for $1,925,604 and contract time for renovations at 2300 East 13th Hayes Middle School.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion?
I guess I just have one legal question as far as the contract. It has Ron Wilson signing for it, but when I look back through policies, isn't the board president supposed to sign this large contracts just as a technicality, or anything over 20,000?
Anything over 20,000 part of the board.
Well, I mean, this does.
Everything I've signed has been approved by the board.
Understood, but I mean, we have the policy TJFA that the board president signs the actual paper.
I think there's also a policy that gives the board the right to
Delegate.
make me the signer, so.
Well, just as a technicality, I hate for these.
It's not that big a deal if you'd like someone else to sign perfectly.
Oh, I'm just trying to follow rules, sir. I'm a rule follower.
I know you are.
Okay.
I think there's another line under that says test.
There is one. There's an attestation.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody else? Any other discussion? Seeing no discussion. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it very much. We shall call for the vote. All those in favor of the Hayes Middle School bond renovations GMP amount for 1925604, vote yes. Yes. All those opposed, vote no.
My Mine's not coming up.
Yes.
How do you vote?
Yes.
Derek, how do you vote?
Yes.
7-0.
Passes 7-0. Thank you very much. Next up on 6.2, school, now it pops up. 6.2, school handbooks, student handbooks 25-26.
Yeah, this is the second time you've had them. Last month, you had all the handbooks, so just asking for approval on the Hayes Virtual School Handbook, Hayes High School Handbook, Elementary Handbook, and Hayes Middle School Handbook.
So I would just like to note that I asked Mr. Henderson to make changes to the handbook, and he did not. So I'm taking that as a refusal, which is really frustrating. I was going through this handbook again. I'm just really frustrated by it. The original handbook had like 90-some pages, and that was outrageous, and I recognize that. It needed to be cut down. But what concerns me is that to make changes to the handbook, it requires board approval, which usually the board gives no problem. But before that, there should be a process of discussion between teachers, between maybe a BLT, between department chairs. I have been on a committee in the past where we talked about changes to be made to the handbook. In discussing with some staff members at the high school, there is no such committee that they are aware of. Changes are made by the administration, passed to the teachers, and then that's kind of it. So again, I'm going to ask that there be some sort of operational definition provided for some of these processes. Like even looking through, we took away, if you go to, sorry, I gotta find it, property damage. It says students who destroy, deface, or vandalize school or student employee property will be addressed according to the Hayes High Discipline Framework and will be required to pay for losses or damage. We take out the phrase, willful destruction may result in disciplinary action. First offense, a range from up to 5 days ISS to up to 5 days OSS. Second offense, the student will be suspended out of school for an extended period beyond 5 days. The student will be provided a formal hearing no later than 10 days, and notice is given shall be afforded all rights according to KSA blah, 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 blah. Taking out things like that is really frustrating to me. I think what it boils down to is a phrase that Mr. Henderson said at the last meeting, and he said, we want to be there for these students on their bad days. And it just really, it rubs me the wrong way. And I'm gonna go back to Mr. Henderson on his interview for this position, and I'm going to hold him to the phrase that he said in the interview is, it's not what's right for this one student in this one situation, it's what works for every student in every situation. And I think taking out all of these operational definitions does not hold to that. So I'm going to make a motion to remove the Hayes High handbook from this motion.
So you would like to vote for the 3 handbooks separately? Is that fair enough?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Okay, so like 4 handbooks. 4 handbooks. Okay.
4, I only have 3. Oh,
There's a virtual school, middle school, elementaries, and high school.
I might need to go somewhere else, but mine's got.
So my question would be, so like any policy, what the changes are or eliminate are in red, the ads are in blue. So I don't see anything, when I reviewed it, that stood out of more than a matter of, I mean, again, I'm going to say, they are the experts. Jamie, I respect you being a teacher. I respect that of you so much. However, the changes that are implemented in the new high school that they feel, and teachers have every right to read this. They have every opportunity, they have every access, they have everything. So any teacher that hasn't read it, that is upset, then go back and read it. Go ask Mr. Henderson if you don't know how to read it. I don't know what else to do, but other than respect the decision of those in charge of the changes implemented in this policy. I am not there every day. You were at a time. This is also a new school, new implementation, and the respect of that the parent has to pay for it if the kid destroys it. As long as that policy is implemented for all kids, it's in the policy. That's all we have to redo legally is go back to policy. And it states it right there. I don't know any organization, any business, any infrastructure, anything that doesn't change those things just like Mr. Henderson did. So I give kudos to Mr. Henderson and his staff on reviewing the policy and making the changes that they did. Most policies that you review today are condensing down, and they're not 100 to 200 pages long because you can explain it in simpler ways. We've all learned that in different situations. AI will tell us that by reports that we see. So I'm going to vote for the approval of the handbook as presented because I read through it twice. My child attending Hayes High School, and I don't see anything that Mr. Henderson missed.
Okay. I have my other thought. Okay, so Jamie, you're asking to remove Hayes High handbook. We'll leave the other three in the group. Is that your motion?
Yep.
That's been the motion made. Is there a second?
This is not a motion to approve or
No, I understand. We're removing it, and we're going to vote 3, and we're voting the Hayes High handbook separately. That's the motion.
I second it.
That's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? Okay, Jess, we're going to vote for the HVS student handbook, the elementary handbook, and the Hayes Middle School handbook first.
Wait, don't we need to, in the motion on the table, got to be voted first?
Would you?
Yeah,
We have to
the
vote on the
was
motion
to-
to.
Oh, I apologize. You are. Thank you, Mr. Brooks. Okay, so all those in favor of separating the handbooks into a 3-1 category?
Oh, okay.
They are correct. I messed up. Okay, all of those in favor of that.
Okay, so you have a separate motion to,
The motion is to separate the handbooks to a group of 3 and a single. And we're voting whether to do that or not. Because that was the motion and it was seconded. I apologize. Thank you for keeping me on.
okay, and who made that motion?
I did.
Jamie and Alan seconded.
It was working.
Okay, we good? Okay, it looks like it's up.
Bottom's correct.
Yes.
Okay, she's got it down on the bottom. Okay, so it just popped up on mine. It says the motion to separate the handbooks for a group of 3 and a single, the Hayes High handbook will be separate. That is the motion. That has been seconded. Discussion is ended. All those in favor of separating the Hayes High handbook from the group of 4, vote yes.
Yes.
Yes. All those opposed, vote no.
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 5-2.
43, 5-2.
Okay, passes 5-2. All right, we'll vote on, do you have to set this up, Jess?
I think we're okay. Which one do you want to vote on next?
Well, let's vote on the group of 3 first, please.
Okay. And is
You-
that the motion that Jamie also made?
No.
No,
Nobody's-
I would like to move.
But,
I could do
yes,
that. I
yes.
could do that.
Okay.
Okay, and second?
I second.
Okay.
Thank you very much. The motion is to approve the Hayes Virtual School Handbook, the elementary and the middle school handbooks. All those in, any discussion on those? Seeing none. All those in favor vote yes. Yes. All those opposed vote no.
Now, before,
Hold on.
Is it public?
Alan, how do you vote?
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
7-0.
7-0. Okay.
Now I can move to approve the
Okay,
high school handbook.
we're looking for a motion to approve the high school handbook.
I would so move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any other discussion?
yes. Something that's worth noting is that elementary schools typically have one administrator. We're lucky that Roosevelt now has two. The middle school has 2 administrators, 3 if you count the athletic director, which is he in,
Yes.
does he do discipline?
Yes.
Okay, so 3 administrators. And the high school has 4 administrators. To be on the same page, to be on the same team, teachers need to know that if they send a student to the office for any sort of violation, that student, it doesn't matter who the student is, and it also does not matter what administrator they go to, the punishment is going to be, or the consequence is going to be for the action, not for any sort of variability other than that, which is why I want operational definitions. I think that it shouldn't matter if the student is having a bad day. I think that's a great explanation for an action, but it's not a good excuse for an action. I think that there still needs to be consequences, and then the relationship building and everything can follow suit. So what I am saying is I will be voting no for this because I just think there needs to be operational definitions. I do not care if that is in the handbook or secondary, but this cannot proceed until, in my opinion, until
Okay.
that.
Any other discussion?
Yeah.
Any other comments? Ken?
Yes, I'm just going to reiterate what Ruth said a minute ago, but, that whole team put together this, they worked hard at it. I think they did a terrific job. Last meeting, Mr. Henderson told us exactly how it was put together. He explained his reasoning behind things, and I understand that you have issues with it, but at the same time, we aren't micromanaging. We have one employee that we manage, and we're not micromanaging that whole team there. They've done a terrific job, and there's no reason why we should put this on hold.
Okay.
I'm
Alan?
satisfied with, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Alan.
I asked Mr. Henderson at the last meeting, we have a big shift in the way the bathrooms are, and there's not anything that addresses that, and I think that should be in the policy.
Okay.
And I think this is a good discussion for our board. This is policy, and this is what we have to abide by. And if we don't agree on it, we should definitely, this is our job, is to do policy. And so if any board members has a concern about it, we should be addressed, and it needs to be taking time to do it. We have another meeting coming up, maybe we can get some of these resolutions to get it before enrollment.
Okay. Megan?
I'm satisfied with the operational definitions that are already included in the appendix. I think that they are sufficient and flexible yet specific, which is what we look for in policy, so that people's actions can be guided in the same way without taking away their right to use their brain and apply it to each individual situation. I appreciate the quote. But there is literally no rule that will be great for every student every day, and so we have to address every incident individually. So that is the correct, pedagogically sound way forward, and so this is great work, but I appreciate your right to vote on this one separately, and that's great.
Okay. Any other discussion? See no other discussion. We shall call for the vote. The motion is to approve the Hayes High Building Handbook as presented. All those in favor vote yes.
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 All those opposed of approving vote no.
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 Board meeting carries.
No. Did you vote yes, Mr. Park?
I didn't know, but it did pop up here.
You voted no?
Yes. Yes, I voted no.
You said you voted yes, but, okay.
Did which way do you vote, Mr. Park?
No.
He votes no.
The motion fails.
Motion fails, 4-3. Next up,
What does the high school have to do from here? Because they need a
They need a
handbook
handbook.
approved.
Can we talk about
Enrollment
it
in 2 weeks.
Well, we
Well,
have a,
here's the thing I want you guys to understand, and I think Ken made a very good point. We got to be very careful that the board does approve the policy, but you don't get to write it. So that's the thing. I don't think it's where the board gets together and then they get to write what goes in the handbook. We'll take the advice that was offered and go back and we'll present what we feel. Because I think the thing is with the administration, it has to be something that works for them.
understand, we have voted 4-3 not to accept the handbook. We would like it
So we'll bring
massaged,
back.
cleaned up, or
And it'll be brought back when, Ron?
Well, I mean, we can bring it back, next Monday?
okay, that'd be awesome. Okay, anybody else looking to move on? 6.3, KASB policy updates.
Oh, yeah.
That's you, Mr. Wessel.
Board committees, I'll just run through these real fast, unless everyone's just good with it. Do you want,
I am good with it.
you're good with it?
Yeah, these don't seem,
Yeah.
No, I don't think there's any, if there's any specific, I'll be glad to address what I can.
These are all just recommendations.
Yep, KSB,
I won't update all these new things that we moved.
that's great.
Well, then I'll make the motion that we approve
I need to get
KSB
something.
recommended policy updates as presented.
Second.
I feel like it's like, you're a cameraman, thanks for helping. I know. I'm thinking that all the stuff that got moved, I don't have. That's what I'm asking you. See, it's not down here, all the stuff we've moved. Okay, the motion has been made, been seconded? Yes, I wouldn't plan it. Yes? Okay, all those in favor vote yes?
Yes.
Yes. All those opposed, no? Passes 7-0. Okay, Mike, does anybody's update, because mine is not,
no, I haven't ever.
I'm stuck at the original.
Mine never
Yeah, me too. I refreshed like 10 times
Alright,
last
and that's what-
meeting and nothing
okay.
ever
Sign out,
changed.
sign back.
So I have them written down.
Yeah.
Okay. This, Jess, is 3.6 next, it won't come up on my screen,
3.6 is what?
is,
The attorney contract.
It's the laptop.
Yeah, we still have
Oh,
one
we have
more
one
thing.
more.
I'm sorry. Okay. I apologize, but these other ones have not popped up. Should they pop up?
What other ones?
The ones that
All these that we've moved around, I have not shown up on my,
The 3.6, the 3.25.
Next.
they're not on ours.
they're not on ours.
We've all refreshed.
Okay. Okay, let's move on, but they have not refreshed. Okay, the Hayes High Rockwell staff laptop purchase. Is that, Scott, that's what you're dealing with this? Okay, thank you.
You planned this, right?
What, to be up and about?
No,
You're up.
Yeah.
Oh, you were already up. Go for it.
So what you see in front of you is the laptop purchase. It's a combination. So it's our high school staff purchase that we would have done at the end of this last year, and also our purchase going into this next year. So it's 2 fiscal years together. Some of the thought there is just our volume discount. Instead of purchasing just the high school and then turning around and purchasing just Rockwell, we get a little better pricing by putting them together. It also puts all of us in the same machine, so I don't have to worry so much about if we have a high school teacher, moving. Sometimes we have certain machines with certain buildings, and so when staff move, trying to keep all of that square. So the more people we can have on the same machine makes it a little easier management for us. So that's why it's all kind of coming together tonight. So.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Scott?
This is the best deal?
I thought it was pretty favorable price-wise. One of the things also included in there, it's kind of some hidden benefit to us. You'll see clear at the bottom the pro support that we get on the devices. What that qualifies for, we pay $1,000 yearly to be a Tech Direct self-maintainer with Dell. So teacher breaks their laptop screen, we can actually order the screen ourselves, replace the screen, but Dell pays us as the repair technician for it. So that's why you see that pro support in there. The accidental damage covers it, to keep the hard drive. If we do have to send the device in, we get to keep the hard drive so we're not scrambling to try to back everybody's files up before a machine gets sent out for repair. Shouldn't have to do that. So that's
Okay.
the hidden benefits at the end.
Anybody have any other questions for Scott?
Where are the elementary machines? Where are they at? They're at,
Not in this year, but they're,
they have laptops too, right? But they're not in the rotation.
yeah, not in the rotation now, but they'll be coming up. But I think I'd have to, I can email you that answer. I just don't know off the top of my head what the
There's
rotation
180, so that's the amount of staff we have at the high school.
in Rockwell, yeah. And there's some extra buffer built in there, so should we add a position, next year or something like that, we can still have a matched machine.
So what is the number at the high school?
I think we're at 76. It was just a shade under 80 devices for that building.
So we have over 100 staff members here.
Yeah, it's,
The loose definition, when you say here.
When you say here, it's administrative people in,
So it's
Are you
13
speech
special ed,
pathologists?
or special ed school settings.
Psychs, okay.
Speech paths, anybody that goes to multiple buildings gets just tagged and is in the rotation of here.
But the psychs and speech, is that paid by special ed or is it paid by us?
SpedCom buys those, but we purchase them. The cost gets allocated over to them, but the board, as the governing body, makes the one purchase, which is a good thing for the list go up, because then we're the quantity of purchasing.
Right. So it'll be
It won't
our cost.
Right, no, the district cost, that's more than the district cost, because special ed co-op will pick up some of that for their staff.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to approve purchase of 180 Dell laptops for Hayes High and RAC staff for $183,450.20.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? Seeing no more discussion, we shall call for the vote. All those in favor of purchasing 180 Dell laptops for Hayes High and RAC staff, vote yes. Yes. Those opposed, vote no. Passes 7-0.
thank you.
Thank you, Scott, very much. Okay, I've hit refresh again, and it's not coming.
maybe if I go home.
Okay.
I think next we talk about 3.6.
Can we-
It's now 6.5, so it's the board attorney contract.
Correct, but it's not on my screen. I don't have it. Okay, so I'm going to go back up.
I'm going all the way
Yeah, it's
out.
up at
I'm
the
not
top.
getting.
I'm going to go back up to the top. Okay. 3.6, ladies and gentlemen, if we're going to follow along with the discussion item that was pulled from consent agenda, Mr. Park.
Yes, I think that this contract was developed back, Bill, what is it, back in the 2019 or before, a little bit before that? Is this the 7th or 8th year? About the 8th?
I don't have them with me.
Okay.
Okay?
So this,
But before, this contract already paid by the hour, and I didn't come to board meetings unless requested.
right. And we had a lot more, like negotiation issues and things like that we don't have now that you were paid by the hour during that time. We've also changed our calendar back before Mr. Wilson started. We had like 26, 28 meetings a year. We're now down to 19. We've had 5 months. We just have one meeting per year or per month. And so the way this reads is it's basically supposed to be back when we had all those meetings, $2,000, which is $1,000 per meeting. We had a lot more meetings. That has changed. I'm just thinking that, and when we went back in June, it said that in the minutes that the board reviewed the contract and then it was voted on in the July meeting. I think that's something we should do, is we should review this, we should talk about it, see what our expectations are. Does he need to be here at every meeting? And should that be adjusted?
I think he
Because
does.
there is a,
He adds every meeting, we ask him questions, so yes.
Okay. Go ahead and finish, Alan, please.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead, finish.
Okay, so there is a clause in here that says if there's another meeting, it adds another to $3,000, but there's not a clause that says, well, if there's less than that or he can't attend a meeting, is that changed or adjusted, which I'm assuming it's a contract for the whole year, and so it comes out every year.
Mr. Jeter, is your regular retainer to the public $175 an hour? Is it significantly higher than $175?
Yes.
If we were paying you an hourly rate to attend a 3.5-hour school board meeting, would it be more than $1,000?
Yes.
We regularly,
It depends on how long your meeting's.
right, but if 3.5-hour meeting, it would be
But
closer to, like, it would,
keep in
all by
mind, that I
itself.
do a lot of things that are not at a meeting.
and you do a lot of things outside the meetings. Right, it's not just attending the
And he's
meetings.
available to us to ask questions,
Anytime.
legal concerns.
Okay, Alan, are you done?
Great rate.
I'm not questioning any of that.
I know, I understand. Do you have any more, stuff to share?
That we should review it, we should talk about it as a board, and so I move that we pull this and table it until we can review it and check out what other districts do. Many districts do not have their board attorney come to every meeting. KSB, we subscribe to their legal services, and they're available whenever we need them for nights. Like Mr. Jeter said, didn't used to do that. Is it necessary? I mean, we went from probably $6,000 a year to between 24 and 20 and 30-some thousand dollars. Could be up to 30-some thousand during that time.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying, like, I do. My concern is, like, if we opt to add that in there, that opens up a whole can of worms. And I really like that Mr. Jeter's here every meeting, because honestly, it just gives me peace of mind. There are several times that I'm like, ooh, I'm going to ask him that at the meeting because I don't know, which I could call KASB, but I really like that he's local, and I really like that he's worked with our district so long, and I really like that he knows the community as well as us, as opposed to just calling someone, I don't know who. Does that make sense?
Yep. and
Okay.
I would agree with that. Mr. Jeter will pick up the phone anytime I've called him. We have no idea what communication he has with Ron on a daily basis or weekly basis. His knowledge of county, city, and our district's government is just, we can't even fathom what he goes through on a weekly basis, because tomorrow morning he'll be at the county meeting. So I respect everything Mr. Jeter does for us, and Mr. Jeter, I think you are a wonderful, wonderful asset to the district, and I'm very proud that you are part of our community.
Anybody else? Okay, seeing no other discussion, Jess, is this going to pop up for us?
Well, he's got a motion and no second.
Oh, yeah, great. Right, no, he wants to table it. He's made a motion. Is there a second to table Mr. Jeter's contract to the next meeting?
Sure.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to table the attorney contract to the next meeting, correct? Which would be, I'm assuming, next Monday. Okay, we shall vote on whether we're going to table the motion. If it passes, then it's tabled. If it doesn't pass, then we will go back to the motion to approve the attorney contract. Okay, all those in favor of tabling the attorney contract, vote yes.
Yes.
All those opposed to tabling the attorney contract, vote no.
No.
No. Fails 5-2?
Yes.
Okay, we're back to the original motion to approve the attorney contract. Do I have a motion?
I so move.
It's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? Seeing no discussion, and Jess is bringing her up.
Mr. Viner?
Yes.
Real quick, I did not say anything that, I did not believe that Mr. Jeter does a good job for us. I just am voting no because the process, that we didn't review it, it's a substantial contract, and we should review it before we do it. Maybe we should have a meeting before, so we can do this before it comes up in July.
Okay, all right. The motion to approve the contract for Mr. Jeter as the Board of Education attorney, all those in favor, vote yes.
Yes.
Yes. All those opposed, vote no.
No.
Passes 6-1. Okay, next one that was removed is resolution to adopt LOB percentage. Is that correct?
Yes.
Which was 3.26?
Yes, now it's 6.6.
Sorry. Okay, 3.25 is the one that's, okay. Okay, Mr. Pork.
This is another item that we haven't discussed. The items, especially contracts in the consent agenda, does not make sense. When you look at the consent agendas, they're supposed to be routine things that happen every year that's not really deal with a lot of money. There's things that are appointments, like we have a bunch this month, but that's why I wanted to pull these out, because they're contracts. It's a lot of money that we should have more discussion on to approve. And we spend a lot of time in consent agenda talking about it, which I disagree with.
As Chris pointed out, we're not voting on anything but to make this resolution. We're not saying we're going to do this. We're saying, because this is a state requirement, we're going to make this resolution, then we're going to vote on the percentage at another time.
I understand that, but I think all these things that have contracts and money, board members should have the right to vote yes or no on that specific one instead of a whole rubber stamp of a whole group of stuff.
Okay. Anybody else have anything?
I'll make the motion to adopt the resolution as presented.
Second that, please.
32.3%.
I'll second that.
Okay. Okay, the motion to adopt resolution that the USD 49 school board make a local option percentage in the amount of the statewide average of 3.23 for the 25-26 school year. All those in favor vote yes.
Yes.
Yes. All those opposed vote no.
No.
Passes 6-1. Thank you. Last is executive session. Before we go down that road, Mr. Wilson, after executive session, we don't have anything else on our agenda.
No, we have to come back.
I understand that. I'm just telling the people that are here, there's nothing else we will address. Okay, fair enough.
This is a,
No, I get it. Yeah, that's the next one.
It's student privacy, which is number 1.
number 5?
Oh, it's 5.
Yeah, personnel is 1, students are 5.
Yeah, number 5.
Okay. Motion to go into executive session for matters relating to action adversely or favorably affecting a student in order to protect the privacy rights of a student who is identifiable. This motion is to go into executive session for
5 minutes.
for 5 minutes. We will start the executive session at 8:20. Are we going down the hallway?
We'll have everyone have Bill.
I understand. Are we doing it here, Mr. Wilson?
Sure.
Okay. The executive meeting will be held in the boardroom, starting at 8:20. Those attending will be board members.
Yeah, Chris, Shanna, myself, and Bill.
Okay.
8:25?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. We're going to reconvene at 8:20 to start executive session.
For 5 minutes.
It's been moved. I moved it. You seconded. All those in favor of executive session, vote yes. Yes. Anybody opposed? No. Passes. 7-0.
flip the switch.